Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the new Bataleon Fly binding. I rode this binding at Copper Mountain on a day that had overcast skies, high winds, snow falling, chop, chunder, just really bad conditions. I think there was even some African tree frogs falling out and being blown around on the trail, and I rode it on my Ride Shadow Band snowboard with my K2 Thraxis boots. Alright, so let's talk about adjustability. You have the standard flip tabs on the toe and the heel strap, flip them up, move them forward, move them back, lock it down, they're in place. With the toe strap, you have a multi-pin placement system, push it down, pull it back, push it forward, you can center it under your boot. The toe ramp and foot pad are one, so you can adjust them by sliding it forward or backwards. Now the big story is the heel cup has two screws to lengthen or shorten it. This is also where the strap placement is, so be aware of that. It's all kind of working as one. The high back also has a forward lean adjustment. Flip it down, slide it up or down, flip it back up. It's locked in. All right, when it comes to the straps, the heel strap is Ox-Tech, but it does not have an exoskeleton in the middle of it, and it's very thin. This is gonna make it very malleable. It's going to flex right over your instep, but all the padding comes from your boot. Now with the toe strap, you have that big cutout in there that is going to fit over just about every boot shape on there and allow you to crank it down. It is a little more rigid, even though it has some give to it. So certain boot shapes, this might not fit perfectly. Be aware of that. When it comes to the ratchets, they're smooth like butter. They climb well, they release well, they don't stick. I never had them prematurely released, they don't skip. They're doing their job. When it comes to the high back, it's very minimal. You get a little added extra rubber padding with ridges on it to grip at the bottom. Otherwise, it's very soft. When you drive into it, you can feel a little more rigidity down the middle, but when you're tweaking, you start to notice that it does have some give. The overall flex of this binding is middle of the road, except in the straps. They're a little softer. You notice that you have a little more forward give, as well as when you drive back into the high back. But from side to side, it's a little more rigid. It does have a mini disc underfoot, so you do get a little bit more play with it there. Like I said, it's around a middle of the road. If anything, it's just a hair softer, but still in that middle of the road spectrum, which makes it a versatile binding. Who's this binding for? The progressing all-mountain rider that does a little bit of everything. This is a solid price point binding. I wish a lot more companies would take note. So you get solid dampening underfoot, you get just the right amount of adjustability on this, and it holds you in, it does the job. You forget that it's there, but it's working. Overall, really was stoked on actually how this binding rode. Comparable bindings, the Nitro Rambler, the Ride C6, the Union Ultra. This has been my review of the Bataleon Fly binding. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own a pair? Are you gonna buy a pair? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this binding. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you wanna support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.